ever wonder why people look so different? Different hair colors, hair textures, eye colors, and skin colors. Why are we all unique? Well, there was a man who wondered the exact same question, but instead of just asking himself, he decided to solve the mystery. His name was Gregor Mendel. Gregor Mendel was a monk and a scientist, and he had one big question. How are traits passed from one generation to the next? To answer this, he designed an experiment. He used pea plants because they had clear traits he could study, different colors, different textures, and different shapes. So he crossed two pea plants with different traits, and what he discovered was a huge surprise that changed biology forever. What we already know is that DNA contains genetic information, and that information comes from genes, which we get from our parents through their alleles. Remember that we always get two alleles, one from our mother and one from our father. The combination of those two alleles is what determines our physical traits, also call it the phenotype. But not all the alleles shows up physically. That's why we say there are two types of alleles, dominant and recessive. Dominant versus recessive. Dominant alleles are those who show physically. Recessive alleles are the ones that don't show up unless you have two of them, but they're still carried in your DNA waiting for next generation. Now, let's look at the picture. This parent has a kid, and we can see which alleles are dominant and which are recessive. We know black hair is dominant because it's the trait that she shows up physically. Brown hair is recessive because she doesn't show it, but she can still carry that allele and pass it to the next generation. Dominant traits are represented with the uppercase letter, while the recessive allele is represented by a lowercase letter. To show a dominant trait, you only need one uppercase letter in the combination, while in the recessive trait, you need two lowercase letters, meaning both alleles must be recessive. Genotype versus phenotype. The genotype is the code or combination of our genetic information. Remember the exercise we do when we combine letters? Those letters usually represent the genotype. Now, we have two types of genotypes, heterozygous and homozygous. Heterozygous means you have a combination of an uppercase letter and one lowercase letter, so the dominant and recessive alleles are together. Homozygous means you have two of the same letters, either two uppercase letters or two lowercase letters. Here's a small example of genotypes. The phenotype is the result of the genotype. It's what you can see physically. Think of it like this. The genotype is like the Harry Potter book, and the phenotype is like the live-action movie. Punnet square of one trait. So we're gonna solve our Punnet square with the data we got. So we put one parent's allele on the top and the other on the side. Then we're gonna combine them in the squares to see all possible genotypes of the offspring. When you finish combining the alleles inside the boxes, you are going to count how many times each genotype appears, like I do in the example. And then when you finish counting, you're going to make the genotype ratio by putting the numbers in order and separating them with a colon. Then you do the same thing with the phenotype to get the phenotype ratio. Outcome percentage. Since it's one trait, each box in the Punnet square has a value of 25%. So we just count how many boxes show each phenotype and turn that into percentage. For example, one box is 25%, 2 is 50%, 3 is 75%, and 4 is 100%. Thanks for watching this video. I hope this was helpful. See you next time.